My name is Tia. This is my tiny house at Namastay Hideaway, which is a tiny house community in Van Alstyne, Texas. I'm originally from Missouri, so I was raised on a small family farm. So I first started in the financial industry and then ended up moving into nonprofit. I'm the executive director for Rebuilding Together North Texas. There's a very small nonprofit here in North Texas, and we do critical home repair and ADA modifications for low-income homeowners. So these are folks that own their own homes, but they still live with poverty income levels. But what I was finding in Texas when I moved here was it was just really difficult to find a home that I could afford, that was in a good area that I really liked, that had kind of the culture, the community that I really liked. I didn't grow up in a very big home. I was raised by a single mom, and so was my mom, my older brother, and I. One of the things I noticed in Texas was there are massive homes and very small yards. And it's kind of the opposite of what I like. I want a smaller home and a massive yard. So I don't really know where I discovered tiny houses, but once I kind of discovered that idea, I kind of latched onto it and really started doing research for it. The holdback, all these years, the holdback for me going tiny were two things. One was parking, finding a good spot for it. And the other one was I cannot be a foster parent in a tiny house, and I used to be a foster parent. So I was trying to play around with the design and see if I could figure out that square footage requirement. I was never actually able to figure that out. I'm not fostering now, but those were my two holdups to going tiny. I've been living here for about 1.5 years. I moved in April of 2022. My home was built by Indigo River Tiny Homes. It is 8.5 wide by 36 feet long and 13.6 tall, and it's technically a 3-bedroom home. I'm parked at the Namastay Hideaway tiny house community in Van Alstyne, Texas. This is a community specifically for tiny homes. There are RVs here. It's a long-term living. There are about 20 spots on the property. It has a fire pit, dog park, cellars in case we have storms, community garden, compost. My house actually backs up to the community garden. My exterior is smart siding with some cedar, food truck window, and solar on top. That's it on the outside. Let's go take a look on the inside. Welcome. My home is about 360 square feet. It is a 3-bedroom home, so it has 2 queen-size bedrooms that are completely stand-up. The 3rd bedroom is an extra long twin, but I've turned it into my office. The layout is one of the really important things that actually made me choose this home specifically. And then I have the whitewash shiplap walls with the dark contrast trim. And then I have like a catwalk here that I've turned into my plant shelf, also for my kitten to wander up there as well. So this is Tramp. This is my hearing dog. He's been with me since Labor Day of 2010. So we've been together quite a long time. He's 14.5 years old. So he's actually in his last year of being a certified hearing dog. He's going to be retiring soon. So this is the living room for the most part. So we have a little couch here that fits the space pretty perfectly, and then it folds out into a twin size hide-a-bed. And then right behind me is a pop-up bar. So it's 2 pieces that pop up for a table. I'm using it as a dish drying rack right now. And then it can fold down so I have space to work with if I want to fold out the bed or do anything else here in the kitchen living room. So this is my food truck window as well. There's a pop-up bar on the outside. And so eventually I'll have a deck, and then I'll be able to just open the food truck window up and have a kind of an inside-outside feng shui going. And then this is the kitchen. It has a regular size oven, an induction cooktop with 4 burners, regular size microwave as well with an exhaust out. I was intentional about choosing the induction cooktop. I wanted everything to be high energy efficiency. And I've heard a lot of really good things about the induction, and I love it. I super, super love it. I would never go to anything else. I would always stick with the induction now that I've experienced it. And all of my appliances are very high energy efficiency to go with the solar. And then over here we have the farmhouse sink. I'm a sucker for the modern farmhouse type of vibe, so that's the kind of style that you're gonna see with the lights and the fixtures and everything. And then I have a couple little shelves, and then everything else is cabinets and drawers. So there's a lot of greenish, bluish, aqua type colors throughout the home. It's my favorite. The fridge is a little bit retro. I didn't need anything huge, just wanted a normal size fridge, and I just super love the aesthetics of this fridge. This is why I chose it. The handle, everybody mentions this, the handle is on the opposite side. It should be on this side, but to get the handle on this side is like $1,000 more, so I'm okay with it being on the wrong side. Moving on now to the bathroom. It has a sliding door, which again with the coloring, because I'm a sucker for the blues and greens. So if you step on in, it is a full-size bathroom. It has a washer dryer combo, sink, plenty of storage for me, regular toilet, and then a soaking tub. I am a soaker. I love my hot baths, so I very much wanted a soaking tub. I'm also a very tall person. I'm 6 feet tall, so I wanted to make sure I had a tub that I could fit in. And then the tile, again, we go to the greens and blues because I'm a sucker for them. I like how it looks kind of oceany. It looks kind of wavy with the greens and blues mixed in for the aesthetics. So love the tile I picked out. Ended up looking really good. I have a washer dryer combo versus an individual washer and dryer. That is for space saving reasons. I have a little cat door right here that goes into the front storage shed, and that is so I can set up the litter box in the storage shed if I would like to. And that way the litter box doesn't have to be inside of the home, especially since it's a small home. I really like the all-in-one combo. Whenever I'm at a friend's house or something and I'm using 2 different machines, I'm like, oh, I have to move it over? This is crazy. So I actually really like the combo. It works really well. Right here we have storage stairs. So underneath the stairs, this is all storage. So they're either drawers or cabinets. And then these are just pretty normal stairs. Living in an apartment, what I didn't have was a space to garden and the ability to like really make it my own, right? Like it was just an apartment complex and I'm renting a space. Sure, I can decorate the interior, but really making it mine or designing it the way that I wanted it to be, like you don't really have that ability. I really wanted to have my own little space that was built for me and kind of fit my own like personal culture, my own personal lifestyle. So that's when I made the move to tiny. So working with Indigo River Tiny Homes, you know, you're really able to just design your house to fit you. So whether it's the paint color or the design or the wall type or anything like that, and the layout in general, it fits me, it fits my life, and fits what I'm looking for. This feels like home. It's like the most genuine feeling of home that I've ever felt. So going up the stairs, we'll head on up to my bedroom. So this is my bedroom. I'm 6 feet tall and I can stand up, so I think it goes up to 6'2". Can be pretty comfortable standing up throughout both bedrooms. It's a queen size bed. It has shelving in the back, but it's open just for airflow. And then I have 2 wardrobes in the back of the bedroom and a shelf as well. And then a full size mirror. It's very rare that in a tiny home that you have something like this. So I actually rescued this mirror from a dumpster and then just brought it to Peter and asked him to incorporate it in the home, and it fit perfectly up here. So now we'll go check out the guest bedroom. So this is a guest room. It's also a queen size bedroom. I can stand up in here just as comfortably. I have a wardrobe behind me with drawers and a closet, and then full size window here as well. Outlets, light dimmers. It's important to me to have a guest room so my friends and family can visit comfortably and not feel like they're crammed or don't have a spot of their own, a little private space. I want to be able to have guests over and have them feel comfortable and welcome. So now we'll check out the last room of the house, my office. So this is my office. It also has the same door the bathroom does, sliding door. And then this actually can fit an extra long twin bed if I wanted to make it a third bedroom, but I don't need a third bedroom. So it's an office, so I have a stand-up desk, so I can stand up, sit down, quite a large screen, and then I have some storage, decorative space, plants, Tramp's food and water is in this room as well. When I was building this house or looking at the layout and trying to figure out what I was looking for in a tiny house, I wanted to be able to have a home that not only worked for me now, but a home that I could grow into. So looking at different things that could happen within my life, different potentials, I wanted to make sure that home could also adapt and grow with me. Having a third bedroom was important, but also having a space that I could work from was important. So I wanted something that had some sort of flexibility and adaptability to kind of maneuver through life with me. My house was built by Indigo River Tiny Homes. Peter and Christina are they're so wonderful. They're super sweet. They're wonderful to work with. And they're just really, really good people. Throughout my research on different builders, I had a lot of trust in them, and I had a lot of trust in their quality of their build. And then I was also playing around with layouts all those years. Indigo River was really the only builder that I saw with a layout that really stuck with me. That's why I ended up choosing them, was people, quality, and layout. I believe the cost was around $170,000 all in. That's with the 10 solar panels, the batteries, inverters and everything. So I have a full solar system on the home. I'm not completely off-grid for my electric. I started out as off-grid, but what I noticed, there was about maybe 3 or 4 months a year that I struggled to be solar only. In the worst heat of the Texas summer, when we're 100 plus every day and it's not cooling enough at night, struggled to keep the house cool enough during that time period. So I added a battery. I have 4 now. I started with 3, and that really helped that challenge. And then in the winter, when we have the shorter days, if it does get really cold and a lot of cloud or rain for multiple days, that's when it's a struggle. So if it's one cloudy day or a couple cloudy days, it's not a big deal. But when we have like maybe a storm roll through or something where it's a week long of cloud and short days and really, really cold temps, that's when it struggles. So yeah, I do use the grid whenever the solar is low. Solar was a huge added cost. Probably added $20,000 plus to the cost of it, but I wanted to be off-grid capable. So I wanted the ability to go anywhere, to go to any tiny house community, whatever those regulations are, whether it's Appendix Q or whatnot. I wanted to be able to have the freedom to park anywhere. This home is RV certified, so I can do that. I can park at an RV park. I can park at tiny house communities across the country. But I also really want a small farm someday, and land is super expensive. So I thought if I had the ability to purchase undeveloped land and be able to put my tiny on and be off-grid capable, it would set me up for more options in the long run. So I would love someday to have a little farm. I was raised on a farm. I'm drawn to it. I would like to get back to that for sure. Living tiny was going to be a part of that. The ability to just be able to save up and hopefully buy land someday, and then have the ability to take this home and just put it on that land is definitely part of a long-term goal that I have. As far as my career goes, if I were to get an opportunity somewhere else, I have the ability to hook it up to a truck and just, go across the country and chase that. So I have the flexibility and the mobility to kind of go where my heart desires or go where opportunities lie.
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.